If you're postmenopausal and still thinking about weight loss the same as you did in your 20s and your 30s, stop right now. The goal now, muscle gain and muscle maintenance, because muscle is an organ of longevity. And how to make sure you prioritize muscle in your nutrition is to eat enough protein. Stick around because I'm going to be sharing how much protein you need to be eating. After menopause, our estrogen levels have dropped. So this affects everything from our metabolism to the insulin sensitivity of our muscle. If you started to feel a little bit squishier, or you can't handle the blood glucose spike or the alcohol as much as you previously did, this is the reason why. But the solution isn't to eat less, it's to eat smarter, and that is prioritizing protein. So how does protein help in the postmenopausal years? First one is it supports our muscle, because muscle is the organ of longevity. So we need to make sure that our muscle is, if not gaining, then maintaining. And after menopause, muscle can accelerate in its loss. But the more muscle we have, the better strength we have, the better metabolism we have, and the more insulin sensitivity we are. And protein is the key to maintaining and gaining that muscle. Protein also optimizes or helps out with our insulin sensitivity. So as we go through postmenopause, our estrogen levels have dropped, and this means we become less insulin sensitive, meaning our blood glucose control gets a lot harder. So this is why you probably may be craving a little bit more sweet things, or you find yourself not being able to handle the alcohol as much as you could, because our insulin sensitivity has got a little bit worse, and therefore our blood glucose goes out the door a little bit. Another way that protein really helps you, it basically keeps you fuller for longer. So increase your satiety. So if you've ever noticed that you're getting like cravings, especially in 2, 3 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, chances are you just haven't had enough protein. Start having a little bit more protein with breakfast, because protein is the most satiating nutrient that we have. So you'll start to find, if you have a high protein breakfast, that those cravings in the afternoon that you really beat yourself up for, they start disappearing because you've prioritized that protein earlier on in the day. Another one with protein, it supports your bone and joint health. As we age, you'll probably know that you get stiffer joints, our bone turnover gets more. So by having more protein, we're helping with that bone turnover, and we're helping with our joint lubrication. So it just makes our days feel a little bit better, rather than having the sore knees and the sore joints and that sort of things. Okay, so I've convinced you that you need to eat more protein, but how much are you aiming for? As we age, our protein requirements get more because we can't absorb as much protein as we did in our 20s and 30s. So to get the same amount or the same effect, we need to eat more. So that's why I recommend that you're having at least 1.6 grams per kg of body weight. So what you do is you take your body weight, you times it by 1.6, and that is the minimum amount of grams that you'd be having in protein. So for example, if you're 65 kgs, you times that 1.6, and you're getting about 104 grams. So you need to be eating 104 grams minimum of protein per day. If you don't know anything about protein, what I would say is download a free tracker. And normally people do this with calories, but don't look at your calories. Track your food and look how much protein you'll be having. And I'm guessing that you'll be getting half of this. Most women are only getting around 30 to 50 grams, if that, of protein a day. So by upping your protein, I tell you, you're going to feel way better within yourself, your energy, your cravings, and you won't be putting on as much weight, because in the increase in protein, it's got a higher metabolic load. So you'll be able to eat more without it putting on the weight. So what are your best sources of protein? Yogurts or the milk products. You've got eggs, you've got all kind of fish and seafood. Fish and seafood are really good postmenopausal as well. And you've also obviously got meats. Try for the more organic or the free range meats, otherwise, or even the wild meats. Otherwise, you're kind of stepping back. But just go as better quality as you can with the meat. If you're plant-based, go for tofu, go for tempeh. I really like those two options, and they're really easy. You can also look at your lentils, you can look at chickpeas and your legumes, and seeds are going to become your best friends too. And even if you're not plant-based, having just a seed topper just on your meals is really good. Hemp seeds, chia seeds, linseeds, pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, all of those are really, really good for you, not only for increasing your protein, but for your fiber and other things for postmenopausal health as well. Another source of protein, which is really underutilized in postmenopausal years, is protein powders. So making sure that you're getting a really good protein powder, I recommend a I recommend a protein isolate. and having no sweeteners or any that sort of yucky stuff in it. If you really don't feel like eating, at least get some protein and a protein shake into you, especially in the morning. This is going to do wonders for you, for your health. So protein is not about being buff and building heaps and heaps of muscle. That's what you've heard in terms of bodybuilding and everything. But for postmenopausal years, it's going to help preserving health, your metabolism, and just feeling way better, more energy, and more vital in the older years. In the link in the description below, I've got a 1-2-3 meal plan, which does prioritize protein. That's number one, making sure that you're always prioritizing protein. There's some ideas, because it doesn't have to be these elaborate meals. It can literally just be a roast chook from the supermarket, add in some coleslaw and a sprinkle of seeds for the good fats and nuts. And that's a really good meal in postmenopause. So download my 1-2-3 meal plan, print it out, hang it on the fridge, and that'll just give you ideas of how to construct a meal that is really helpful for you in the postmenopausal years. But making sure you are aiming for protein in your meals, that 1.6 grams, or what that looks like in a day, is about 30 to 40 grams of protein per meal. So start with protein, prioritize that. And if it's really too much to aim, if you're starting at 50 to aim to 100, just increase it. Just increase it little by little. And you're going to be feeling more like yourself. You start to feel less squishy and just better within yourself. And it'll be amazing for you going into your older years, because I don't know about you, but I want to be that 80-year-old rocking it rather than being in the rocking chair. So if you're like me and you want vitality and functionality in your older years, prioritize protein in your diet. That is number one. Start there and you can thank me later.